Hi, welcome back. Or if it's your first time here, then welcome. I'm Cheryl Muir. I'm a relationship expert, and today we're talking about this whole thing of getting a specific person to call you back. I've seen a number of videos on this, and so I wanted to make a video on this as well. But there's a little bit of a twist, and for those of you that have been following me for a while, I'm sure you already know what that is. But if not, stick around to find out what the twist is, because this is not your average get them to call you back video. No, sir. No, ma'am. So before we get started with today's video, I wanted to start with some announcements. So the Dating Drama Empowerment Method is now open. The Dating Drama Empowerment Method is my course, my foundational course. I have about 9 or 10 courses, but this one is really the foundation of the work that I do in overcoming your dating drama and your painful patterns in love. I will put the details down in the description of the video and also pinned in the comments below. So why don't we get started and talk about this whole thing of getting someone to call you back? I mean, I'm going to be honest, I kind of tricked you with the title because it's not really about that. But here's the thing. Trying to get someone to call you back is, in my humble opinion, bullshit. And I will tell you as for why. It's bullshit because we can't influence anyone else's free will. Yes, we are very, very powerful beings. We can get a lot of things to happen. Have I manifested specific people coming to me and calling me back and getting back in touch after a long time? Yes, I have, absolutely. But it's very, very surface level when we're doing that. It's very much scratching the surface of what we really get to have in this lifetime. And it's also not really digging into why it is you are tolerating such nonsense behavior from this specific person. So we're really going to get into it. And also, it's karmically very, very bad to fuck with someone else's free will. It's karmically very, very bad to try and influence their free will and do some kind of Jedi mind trickery or some kind of law of attraction. I've even seen like spell videos on this. Cast a spell, get them to call you. We're not doing any of that. That is not cool. That's not what we're here for. That is not what we're about. What we can do, because if we can't control anyone else's actions and control their free will, what we can do is really, really take responsibility for our internal experience. And what happens when we do that, and I'll give you 3 steps today with which to do that. What can happen is 3 things. 1, the specific person can call you back. 2, you don't want them to call you back anymore because you've healed to the point that you don't want to hear from them and you're really glad that they're not calling you. Or 3, someone else will step up and step in and step forward, and that's really beautiful, and we really, really welcome that. But no matter which of the 3 happens, what is absolutely guaranteed is that you're going to feel really, really great in your internal experience, and that's really what this is about. So that's the most important thing, is for you to feel amazing. So let's start with step number 1, which is ask better questions. The answers that we get really depend very much on the questions that we ask. So if you're asking questions like, why isn't he texting back, or why isn't she texting back? What did I do wrong? What can I do to get them to call me? We're going to get answers that reflect that kind of level of questioning. But if we ask questions instead like, why am I tolerating this? Or what am I afraid of here? Or perhaps it's, how am I feeling right now? And what emotions is this bringing up in me? How do I want to feel? And what can I do to really nurture myself and help myself to feel better? When we ask those kind of questions, we get in really, really deep. We get in deep and we start to heal. We start to break the cycle on these dysfunctional dynamics of waiting by the phone, waiting for someone to call. We've not got time for that shit in our lives. We've got things to do. We've got things to create. We've got communities to build. We've got people to help. We've got a world to change. We're waiting by the phone. No, we're not going to do this. We're going to nurture ourselves and make sure that we're having a really beautiful internal experience. So what is this bringing up for you, right? Pause the video, go back, write down those questions, journal on them, maybe take a screenshot of your notes and then favorite it and come back to it next time you're waiting by the phone, so that you have a framework and have something to follow next time you find yourself in that holding pattern of waiting for them to call you back. Step number 2, this is a big one. You're going to want to write this down. Who does this person remind me of? Who does this person remind me of? So with this, you might be like, oh, they remind me of the last person I dated. That's not really what we're talking about, though. We're talking about really, who does it remind you of? Who in your past was similar to this? So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I'm going to say it's going to be one of your primary caregivers. It's more than likely going to be your mother or your father. Is that very Freudian? Yes, it is. And it's very, very true, because when we're growing up, when we are below the age of 5 or 6, we're looking to the people around us to really understand the world and really understand our place in it. And so we're looking to our mum, we're looking to our dad, and we're forming beliefs, subconscious beliefs, based on everything that's going on around us. So if 95% of our subconscious beliefs are formed before the age of 6, it stands to reason that if our mother or our father is not really around, then our beliefs are going to be, oh, love's hard, love's absent, I'm used to people not being there for me, this is what gets to happen for me, blah, blah, blah. Like we cement that in, and we don't even know it's there until we start doing work like this, right? So ask yourself the question, whose love did I crave most as a child? Whose love did I crave most as a child? It could be your mom, it could be your dad, it could even be a grandparent if they're the ones that raised you. So when you ask that question, then you're going to get some clues on whether or not the person that you're really, really hurting over, whether or not they're actually reminding you of an absent parent. Which brings us to step number 3, which is arguably the most important, which is to really heal those core wounds of abandonment. Because that's what it is. You know, I remember when I was very much in my dating drama, I remember waiting by the phone. It was so painful. And most of the time it was someone who I didn't even know that well. I really didn't know them that well. So why is it they had the ability to trigger such deep pain within me? Well, it was because it was reminding me of an experience when I was small. It was opening up these gaping open emotional wounds of abandonment. That's really what it is. You're not waiting for them to call you back. You're not hurting because they haven't called or texted you or planned the next date. You're hurting because these wounds of abandonment are wide open, and that lack of a call is rubbing salt in the proverbial wound. That's what's really hurting. And so when we can go back to that core wound and heal it and nurture it, then we gain a lot of power over this. And that's when we really break the cycle on these unhealthy patterns in love and relationships. And I'm not preaching to you from the ivory tower. I've been there, down in the dirt, down in the trenches with you. I know, I've been there, I get it. And it's hell to be there. It's really painful. But what this really is, it's not a curse. It's not punishment. It's not, oh, you're doomed in love. It's not that. It's just that you have some things to learn about relationships. That's all it is on a really simple level. You just have some lessons that you came here to learn on relationships and relational healing. And this is your call to do that. So how do we do that? How do we heal that abandonment wound? Well, I've got a really beautiful inner child meditation on my channel. I'll link that at the end of the video in the end screen, so you can go through that, and that's going to give you a really beautiful healing experience. Of course, I have courses as well, and they're linked in the description and the comments below. I would say the dating drama empowerment method is probably the best one to start with, because you're really going to get a handle on what we talked about today. Like, what is the pattern? Why am I waiting around for this person? Who does this remind me of? And how can I really heal that and nurture myself so that I can have healthy relationships? And even if you don't want a relationship, like, the goal isn't to get you in a relationship unless you choose that. The goal is to help you feel better and heal the relationship with yourself so that you can live your life and go out and create really beautiful things and change the world in your way, change your world and change your community, and really serve on a powerful level, because that's why you're here to learn these lessons. It's to learn the lessons and to integrate that into wisdom within you, and then use that wisdom to then help other people in any way that feels good to you. It doesn't mean we all have to become relationship coaches, but there will be some level of helping those around you and being a real presence for those in your life. So I really hope that helped you. Before I sign off, I'm just going to check the comments. Oh, Robin's here. Good morning, Robin. Good afternoon for me, but good morning to you. It's lovely to see you here, and thank you everyone that was on live. Just to remind you again, just at the end of the video, it might even be up right now, you will see the inner child meditation. So definitely jump into that next. It's about 15 minutes. Carve out a little bit of time for yourself. It's really going to help you to feel better. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment below, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.